All right, staggered hip hinges with a band attached just underneath the hip. All right, the top part of the hip right there. Anchor behind me. You can, the anchor point is either, it should be hip level or slightly lower, you know, however you set it up. But you also want, I like to get a thick band, not only because it's more comfortable to rest right in this position, right on that lower hip flexor, but it gives you enough tension. What we're trying to do with this band is it's going to actually provide a distraction that allows us, just like you do mobility work, but we're doing muscle work at the same time here, mobilizing and building muscle simultaneously. It's going to help improve your ability to flex at the hip without rounding the spine, because it actually pulls the hip capsule into place. So you're going to feel also at the top much more, actually you have to push against the band to get full hip extension. So double benefit, we get more tension at end range hip extension for max glute activation, and it also pulls us into a better hip hinge position, flat back tabletop, improving hip capsular mobility and positioning, and a better stretch of the hamstring. So that's how we're gonna do it. I like to use a kettlebell for this. You can use a dumbbell. We're going contralaterally loaded, meaning whatever side is the lead leg that's working, the opposite hand is holding. We're gonna go palm facing neutral grip, keeping that shoulder active the entire time. So just because it's a lower body movement doesn't mean we forget our upper body. You wanna pack that shoulder back and keep tension in your rear delt throughout that movement. The kettlebell is good because for those that maybe risk going down too far, the bell will actually hit the ground before you can go below parallel with the trunk. So you're never in a bad position for your back. But if you have good mobility, I can actually go further while keeping position. So sometimes I go dumbbell instead to extend the range of motion. But I'm thinking about most of you guys, especially having tight hamstrings based on what I saw in our kind of introductory week. So we're here locked in. I'm gonna get enough tension in the band. We're gonna start, and I actually like to put the back of the hand on the small of my lower back, so I maintain a slight flat arc there the entire way. I'm locked in. You're on the back toe, and the back toe should be placed far enough back so at the top, the weight has room. So it's right here, see how the bell is touching my leg? So I staggered back a bit, all my weight's on the front leg, the knee is soft, but I'm maintaining that bend throughout, chest up, rib shoulders down, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 1, 2, I'm keeping that weight hovering just above the ground, active shoulder, come right through, squeeze for a count. And repeat that pattern, 90 seconds each leg, start weak side. We're gonna try to make the switches as immediate as possible, all right? Knowing that I've gotta get out of here and then switch legs. So again, it might be more of an 80 seconds on, 10 seconds off each side. You could also, by the way, because you've got 3 minutes on, 1 minute off work periods, do 90 seconds, take about 10 seconds to transition, and go 10 seconds over the 3-minute buzzer to get 90 seconds each side. Again, don't freak out about it. It's about getting equal tension on each side, as much tension on each side, in that 80 to 90 second range. And again, you want more tension, step further out from the band, or go thicker band. You could also do this without the band, but again, the beauty of the bands, particularly adding horizontal or lateral drivers, in this case horizontal, to make it a multi-vector movement. And again, so we don't have to do that much extra mobility work outside of the gym. This will help with that as well.